Okay, 3, 2, 1, action.
Yeah, man. Oh, it's crazy.
This video is brought to you by Dewet&Bikes. If you like what you see, pay us a visit and view our beautiful stock available.
What's up, homies, and welcome back to the channel. Today, boys, we've got a little bit of a comparison. Now, we've done one of these before. We did it with the automatic versus manual NC Hondas. So that was the DCT 700, or I think the DCT was the 750. I think the NC 700 was the manual. The classic FZ-06. Now, a lot of people actually think that this has got the same engine that the R6 has. I think it's got the same engine that the 2004 FZ, no, not FZ, YZF. I have reviewed this bike before, so I kind of know what to expect, but I still want to take it out after I ride the FC, just to, get a nice proper comparison going. So, boys, we've got the FZ-06, and then we've got the MT-07. Now, the MT-07 kind of somewhat replaced that. I think in the States, you can still get FZs, but I think they might just be called different things. Like, I think an MT in the States is called an FZ. So what we're going to do, I'm going to take the FZ-6 out, I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to take out the MT-07. And then after that, I'm just going to talk about a few things. Obviously, while I'm on the bikes, I'm going to be talking about the things that I noticed, but as I said, I have already reviewed that. So we're going to do a little bit of a review on this, but it's definitely more so a comparison, boys. And yeah, I'm interested to see. I think this is going to be a lot more talky. Obviously, it's going to go nyong. This, I think, is going to be a little bit less talky, but it's going to have a very nice power curve. But yeah, boys, I'm very excited. I've been wanting to ride this for a while, and the reason we're riding it today is one of the OG homies actually requested it, and then I figured, you know what, let's get a little comparison going for the boys. So just a warning, boys, it is about 7, 8 in the morning. I'm cracked up off of a monster. I'm firing, so apologize if I apologize. As per usual, a huge thanks to Dewet&Bikes for making this video possible and for always trusting us on his absolutely beautiful machines. I mean, look at this, boys. We've got 2 bikes today. Alright, boys, let's get going. Now, modifications on this bike, boys, there's pretty much no modifications. Literally, I think it's pretty much stock, which is quite nice, and let me just show you guys something. Even with the dash off, this stays on. Now, I did warm it up a little bit, and it struggled to start. Okay, this time it worked, but I think that's a little bit dumb, to constantly have the dash on like that. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it probably uses like little to no energy from the battery, but I still think it's a little bit questionable. It's pretty cool though. It's pretty cool. Not crazy about the mirrors. They look like car mirrors. With these older bikes, boys, I've really noticed that you have to give them their time to warm up. And especially with this one, like, if I rev it a little bit now, it might cut out. Because they just, you gotta give them some time to wake up, especially this time in the morning, Okay, well, the first thing I'm noticing is that the handlebars are actually quite stiff. And I like that quite a lot, actually. Music! Oh, okay. Are we recording? We are recording. Oh, I've already hit neutral. Okay, so very stiff handlebars. I mean, without a damper, they're very stiff. So that's quite nice. I like it. I like some stiff handlebars, boys, especially with these nakeds. Okay, the throttle is a little bit delayed. Like you twist and then it goes. Very, very twitchy throttle. But it's zippy as fuck, boys. Like, super zippy. Even when I just pulled away from that traffic light. Do you see that? Watch this. Ooh, okay, okay. I don't know what's making a noise, but something's making a noise. Ah, it's the clutch. Okay. It's I can't hear the bike, and I'm struggling with that. Oh, a little bit close here, but it's fine. Whoa, boys. She's a little bit of a screamer. Lots of engine braking. Very similar to the triple in that regard. You know, as soon as you let off the gas, there's a lot of braking involved. Sure, Chief. You're right. Sure. Oh, we got a lady in a wheelchair. Oh, thank you for getting out of my way. Thank you. I don't have any money, I'm sorry. I'm poor. I shouldn't be saying that to a homeless person, but anyways. Yeah, boys, I smart for the power, eh? The power curve, it's lacquer, it's lacquer. Makes me feel like I'm riding an R6 when it gets to like 7k RPMs. Whoa. If I could have this engine on the triple, yeah, it's not very torquey, boys, but it's got such a nice power curve. I love it. Like the triple, you gotta shift very early, and I'm loving the amount of revs that we've got here. The only thing I don't like, boys, is the handlebars. They are very close together. It kind of feels like how I felt on that CFR. What was it? The Sport Tourer CBR with the CBR 600 engine. It feels quite similar to that. You know, I'm just talking about the handlebars now. So it's a little bit awkward, but, you know, I could get used to it. Also with the triple, the handlebars are just super wide and they're quite straight. So this just feels a little bit exaggerated, and as a result of that. I really want to open her up here, but it all depends on the opportunity. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, so it's not crazy. I would kind of put it in between the triple and the MT-07. Because the MT-07 has a very over-exaggerated torque, like low-end power. The triple is very consistent. This one, it hits, and then slowly dips off. So, yeah, there you have it, boys. They kind of, each to their own, you know, they're all unique in their own way. Yeah, just going up the hill there, I did notice that the bike wasn't crazy stable, but it you know, it's well seated. Now, I would have liked to have gotten a little bit of a better idea of what the acceleration is like on it, but I think I've got a pretty good idea. I've got a good idea of what the power curve is like, and you know, that's what I want to use to compare the two. So yeah, boys, only complaints is how twitchy the throttle is. As I said, you know, it's like 0 and then all of a sudden it hits. Other than that, it's just the handlebars, and the seat doesn't have enough grip for me. I'm definitely sliding back, but I'm riding in like chinos, so I suppose they don't offer a huge amount of grip, but you know, it's just something I noticed. I love the sound of this thing, boys. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the MT-07, but I never understood what people were saying when they were like, oh, this bike is obnoxious. Boys, the MT-07 is fucking obnoxious. Like, it's ridiculous. And you'll see now, you'll see. Like, that bike, I feel like I'm annoying people when I ride it. So I prefer something like this and the triple, you know, where it's like, it's not obnoxious when you're sitting at a traffic light or, you know, you're in your low revs. But when you get halfway through the revs, then it starts making some noise, you know, that's what I schmark. I don't, you know, and it all comes down to personal preference at the end of the day, you know. I know people who don't even like having a loud bike. Boom, here we are back at Mr. Dewet. And now let's hop on the MT-07. Give it a go for the boys. Yeah, man. They get the MT. It's super choppy, that single R. Is he gonna fit through there? I don't know. Oh, is he gonna make it? Oh, as I said, we've already ridden this beauty, but we gotta give it a little comparison. All right, first things first, boys. Not nearly as comfortable as that. There's Mr. David for the boys, the one and only. Yeah, boys, it's not nearly as comfortable. That's the first thing that I'm noticing. Handlebar position, I schmark much more. I prefer this much more than the sort of like riding like this, you know. I like my wide handlebars. You see what I mean? It's just so loud. Very, very obnoxious. But I mean, some people like it like that, eh? Not for me. It is nice in that people can hear you, that's for sure. Yeah, you see with this thing, you don't really have to hold on. Like with the FZ-6, I was like holding on. Now I think it's a combination of, you know, a difference in power, but also difference in the seats. And also this has got tank grips, so I'm stuck on this thing, boys. Oh, it's crazy, crazy, crazy. Yo, the power on this, boys. Hits hard, and then it really just plateaus. There's nothing about these bikes that is even remotely similar. Riding position is different, power curve is different, sound is completely different. You know, these are just two completely different bikes, you know, and you know, you're gonna have someone who's gonna really like that. You know, I know there are people out there who are absolutely in love with the MT-07s and the R7s. But then there's also the person who's absolutely in love with the FZs and the R6s. And I think I'm an R6 boy. You know, I like these things, but there's just, you know, there's just something about it where it doesn't give me that hit that I get from the inlines. What's up, dude? I saw this guy earlier, and now I'm on a different bike. So, Jeff, what I will say, right, is this definitely feels more of a commuter. Like, this is what I would probably use to go to and from work. But now the FZ-6, that is a different story. I would take that out for group rides with the boys if I want to go zoom zoom. See, but that sound, boys, you know, as much as I say it's obnoxious, it's crazy, eh? Irra. It just sounds so aggressive. I think it's probably because I've ridden this bike before, but I'm much more comfortable riding it. It seems easier for me to ride. People must hate these bikes. Like, if somebody came past me like that and my window was open, or even if my window was closed, I would be like, what the fuck? But very nimble, so nimble, very easy to fling around the road. It could have something to do with the fact that I've basically got no fuel, but yeah, boys. The triple's giving me lots of shit, and I'm sick and tired of it. So I do want to get another bike. However, I don't have the money right now, so you know, I'm looking for something. But oh shit, is that a fucking trapper? Whoa, what is that? I see he is part of a little biker gang, so I don't know, this guy might. But let's see, is he gonna be a? Oh, that's sick. He's not a Deadpool. That's fucking, that's nice, dude. That's sick. Schmark for that thing. That's a clean jigsaw, bro. Clean jigsaw. Ooh, that's nice. That's very nice. It's very nimble. Oh, this guy wants to race, eh? Who you reckon's gonna win here, boys? I reckon Big Boy's got it, eh? Don't stand a chance. No chance. No chance. I'm struggling to give a comparison because they're not even remotely similar. Like, the only thing that I see them having in common is that they are fucking naked bikes. What's going on, brother? You good? Sharp. Yeah, bro. Literally the only thing similar between these two things is that they are naked bikes and they are Yamahas. That is quite literally it. Otherwise, boys, completely fucking different story, you know, completely. And as I said, you know, the fact that it's also a much newer bike, I think it might actually be around 10 years or 11 years newer. But as I said, you know, boys, it just feels a little bit soulless or heartless, you know. Like when I get onto these older bikes, and I'm sure there's some people out there who can relate with me, but there's just something different, you know, the old versus the new. And again, I'm gonna go back to it. It's just, it feels like this thing doesn't have like a soul to it, you know. It's just like a, I don't know, it's like a robot, you know. I don't know, boys, I might sound like I'm fucking crazy right now, but I'm just, you know, I'm trying to convey the way I feel. Oh Lord, is that a BMW XR Yappa? I don't know. It is. Those are fucking nice bikes. Hello, Mr. Adventure Boy. There's just bikes everywhere. Feels like I'm in Brazil. Hey, what's up, brother? Smart for it, boys. Like, you know, a couple of years back, South Africa, we didn't have many bikes at all, you know, even delivery bikes. So yeah, like, yes, they delivery bikes, but I fucking love it, you know. The more bikers on the roads, the merrier, you know. So, you know, I don't really want to drop a gear and pass a queer. Sorry, I meant to say drop a gear and disappear. That's what I meant to say. If you want to make noise and piss people off, get yourself an MT-07. That's the bottom of the line, boys, because people, I'm telling you, they fucking hate this thing. But one of the other things that I've noticed about this bike specifically, well, about, let's say, the MTs, is that the seats at the back, there's a lot of extra space there. So I don't know if I'm maybe sitting a little bit too far forward, but this is, you know, this is one of those bikes where you just grab your keys, get on it and go. You know, there's no thinking, you know, it's so easy to ride. The FZ, you know, you got to think about a few things before you get on it. Mainly being that that throttle. And again, I don't know if it's on that bike specifically, or if it is something that is consistent throughout the FZ-6s, but that I was not a fan of. You know, it really was. It felt like I was riding the MT-09 again, and I put it into STD mode. And, you know, you literally, I'm not joking, boys, you twist the throttle, nothing happens, and then it's just like, boom, I think a lot of people would choose the MT over the FC. And, I think even just with people nowadays, no one wants an old bike, eh? Everyone just wants a new, fancy traction control, wheelie control, ABS, all that shit that, looks after you. Let's put these things next to each other and collect our thoughts a bit. Okay, boys, it's time to decide who the winner is. These kids running around. This is gonna get me demonetized. We're gonna talk about a few things and we're gonna decide. Does the phaser win or does the MT-07 win? First thing is first, boys. Sound. Now, obviously, I mean, I think if there was like if we even just had like a different exhaust tip on the FZ, it would probably sound much better because it's like literally a full-on underslung stock exhaust. So that versus a little shorty. So we've got like there. I think if you took this system off, got rid of the stock system, did a little side mount exhaust, it would make a big difference because as you can see over here, it's literally boom down. It's pretty much from the headers out. Like there's literally, I mean, look at that. It's basically what, less than 30 centimeters there between the headers and the exhaust. So this thing is just absolutely ridiculous. With that being said, obviously the MT-07 is going to take the double Rooney for sound. Again, if it had a different exhaust tip on, it would most likely sound a little, in my personal opinion, the inline 4 would sound better. But because it's all stock and all of those sort of lovely things, it's a little bit underwhelming. But get it up on the revs and then got a little bit of a screamer. Now appearance. It's a difficult one, boys, because I had the mirrors off of that when we were doing the shots on it, and I really like the look of it. But at the end of the day, I have to be honest, the MT-07 does look nicer. Just obviously there's quite a few modifications. We've got the rim tape, we've got those things on the sides there, we've got the radiator guard, we've got the exhaust. It's just a really nice looking bike. This, however, on the other hand, is completely stock and it's an old bike. But with that being said, boys, I do think that it is pretty close. I think it is, maybe, no, I'm lying to myself. The MT-07 wins by miles. Unfortunately for me, boys, the MT-07 is going to take another double Rooney for looks. Then the next thing, acceleration. Now, boys, the FZ. This is where the FZ comes in. Bro, when I went up that hill the first time I hit it, I was like, holy shit, okay, we've got some sauce here. The acceleration on this is definitely better than that of the MT, without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt. The FC, as I said, boys, it's really like a whoop and then whoop. This is pretty consistent, boom, 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 and then it ever so slightly dips off. So acceleration is gonna have to go to the FZ-06. W's in the chat. I love the FC. Now torque, I mean, I don't even need to touch on that. Obviously obviously the MT-07 is going to take the dub. But with that being said, the torque on this was there. It was definitely there. As I said, when it did hit with that throttle, it chucked you back. So it's definitely there. But on that, it's just absolutely crazy. You hit that throttle, bang. It's like, we out of here. So obviously another double Rooney for the MT-07. Sorry if it sounds a little bit weird, boys. My balaclava is going into my mouth. Maneuverability. As I said, I didn't get an opportunity to move that around the road. However, I think even if I did, I would say that the MT is more maneuverable because of that wheelbase. And also the handlebars. Having the wider handlebars makes it much easier for you to dip the bike like that. So, handlebars, wheelbase, because of that, I'm going to have to give it a gain to the MT-07. But that's not saying that the FC isn't maneuverable. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the MT is more maneuverable. Okay? Then retail prices, boys, I don't know the retail prices off the top of my head, but I'm going to check them up, get a little bit of a price comparison going. I personally preferred the FC. I preferred the way it rode, and I think it's probably because of the wheelbase. Now, me being on the triple, I don't know where it is. Oh yeah, it's out front, it's out front. Being on that bike, it does have a long wheelbase, so I think maybe that's why. But also, as I said, boys, for the 100th time, I'm an inline four lover boy, you know, so I think even from the get-go, I kind of knew that I was going to lean towards this bike. I personally, I do like the older bikes. I find them a little bit easier to work on, a little bit more user-friendly, and yeah, boys, that's just it for me, you know, that's my personal preference. So, you know, what if you guys prefer the MT-07, you know, let me know in the comments. I think a lot of people are going to prefer this, but I'm going to have a few old heads who are with me and who appreciate the older bikes and who are going to say that they prefer the FC. I at least hope so. Because, yeah, it's such a nice bike, boys. It really is. You know, it's that old school naked. I fucking love it. I love it. You know, and it's kind of still when they were just like, you know what? Sport bike engine, bam, put it in that bitch, take some fairings off, naked bike. Nowadays, it's like, okay, let's design a whole new engine, wheelbase, nah, you see, now, back in the day, they just ripped some fairings off and they were like, boom, naked bike, and I like that. All in all, boys, it was a good time. I really enjoyed it. It is, again, it's so nice to be able to get off of this and get onto that and get a real, you know, nice comparison going. But I think I'm going to do a full review on this, especially because the one and only OG Anakin requested one. So I think you guys are going to see this bike again. All in all, it was a good one. It was a good one. The weather was actually quite nice for riding today, which is, you know, always good. And yeah, boys, once again, a huge thanks to Mr. Dewet over there for making this video possible and for trusting me on his beautiful machines. I mean, you know, as I said, I got to ride 2 bikes today. I mean, as most of you guys know, Dewet&Bikes sells bikes, cars and bicycles and jet skis and boats and trailers and quad bikes and whatever that thing is. But yeah, just a huge thanks to him and his absolutely beautiful team for making this video possible. But yeah, boys, that's it from me today. I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. We got a group ride tomorrow. I don't know when that video is going to be going up because it's just been delay after delay. I'm sorry about that, boys. Actually, you know, just been crazy busy with work. But yeah, we're going to get better. We're going to get better, I promise. So yeah, don't know when the group ride is going out, but this will be going out soon. So yeah, boys, it's going to be a good weekend. Boom, review done. Tomorrow, Hearty's group ride, Twisties. It's going to be a lacquer one. And yeah, boys, for my Americans, lacquer means good. I saw someone comment, they were like, what does lacquer mean? Lacquer means good, like puss lacquer, you know, that means like it's very good. So we're going to have a puss lacquer weekend. We're going to enjoy it to the fullest. And yeah, we're going to get some good footage for you, boys. Boys, hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it through to the end of the video, smash like, subscribe. Peace.